Supreme being, everyone. It is time for our energy forecasts. Perhaps I should have done that earlier, but now I got the inspiration, so let's go for it. Let's see what is coming up for us. We have been having quite extreme 2021 with a lot of things going on, things that we were kind of anticipating, but still many people got a little bit frustrated and surprised. I am not allowed to mention certain things here on YouTube, so I will not use the words, but you all know what I'm talking about. And we have to expect that this trend will continue in the next 2022. I really wanted to, come out here and to tell you, hey, this is all gonna get canceled, it's gonna disappear, and all of a sudden we are just going to get better and humanity is gonna be safe and all good. Well, maybe that's why I kind of delayed this forecast, because unfortunately that's not what I really have to tell you. There's some good stuff though, so don't be sad. So we have to expect that things are going to continue with a similar trend. There will be scenarios that we are all anticipating that will come to reality, but at the same time there will be things that will be taking us by surprise. Things that we didn't even think about, they will be popping up, more and more new stuff, and this will take a lot of people unprepared. So first of all, to get prepared ourselves for 2022, we have to prepare psychologically that there could be a lot of sudden changes still. However, what I am seeing for the next year, it has been coming to me like small flashes of visions for quite a while now. I'm feeling the energy of 2022 somehow more mellow. There is something in the energy of 2022 that will make us a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more optimistic about what is to come later on. This trend that we are observing right now, in my opinion, hasn't reached really its culmination. That's why things have to build up. This tension has to build up a little bit more, so that we change the wind. We change the direction of how things are moving, and I believe this will continue until about sometime 2024. Well, things will slowly start to take another totally different direction. I have mentioned actually in I think 2 other videos before, or even more, about the upcoming changes for all twin flames in 2024. But what I believe is that 2024 is not going to be a year of dramatic change just for twin flames, but for all humanity. So we just need to make sure we make it until 2024 with all our common senses. We have to try to stay on the reasonable side of everything, because the trend that we are observing now, that everything that has been going on in closed doors is becoming more and more obvious for the population of Earth, and it is gonna reach such an extent that we will realize that those who have been preparing all this scenario, they don't really care anymore about the truth coming up. What I can tell about the more specifically about the upcoming 2022, there will be, first of all, something big that is going to happen in 2022, somewhere in the second half of the year, the beginning of the second half of the year, I believe, and we are all going to feel it. Whether it is going to be related with the exact situation that we are observing right now, or it is going to be other events, I believe it will affect each area of humanity's life. But we will witness something very big. It's a very big energy coming up to the surface, which will probably make most of the people who have been going with the flow of how things are given to us right now, and they have been accepting and continuing with this scenario. This event that is going to happen next year is going to make them wake up all of a sudden and realize that indeed what the other side has been saying until now is to a very big extent the truth. We all know that the truth is somewhere in the middle, and what we are seeing, what we are living through right now, is because of the feminine and masculine energies having a battle between themselves. And this happens on earthly level, unfortunately. And because of this, we are all experiencing it physically here on earth in many other ways, not just the pandemic situation. Because of this more major waking up, let's say, this major event that is going to happen, it might be actually a cycle of many smaller events that are going to build up, and they are going to be happening all pretty much at the same time. There will be more and more people moving around the world in terms of not really traveling for pleasure, but more like changing the location of where they will be living permanently. People will start to search for places where things are not as bad, because I can tell you that in Europe there will be 10 major countries where things will really go to their peak. And we are already observing Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, but here will also be included France and a few others that will make this number 10. And a lot of people living in these countries will start to search for other places that they can move, so that they can have a little bit better life, a little bit more peaceful life. These, of course, will be the people that they don't agree with everything that is happening. And as I said, there will be more joining them later on next year, because they will see that things are becoming too much extreme. The fact is that we are observing a very big rush right now. It's a rush of things to happen as quickly as possible. And this will continue until this major event happens and a little bit after that. This might be reminding us of the event that many spiritual people were talking about some time ago, and even we did a few videos about that. But even though there will be something major, like I said, this year happening, there might be even more natural disasters, which I think really will be things that will be really shaking our lives. But at the same time, if we follow them, if we follow the signs that will be given to us, if we are drawn to go to another place, to move location, we have to believe that this is for a better life for us. Even though at the beginning it will not look as so, it may look very tragic, very difficult. Eventually we will realize that it had to happen this way because it saved us in one or another way. So all this will reflect in Mother Earth, of course. As always, Mother Earth is there. She's actually a very active participant of everything that is happening because she is actually the female energy of Earth. And this is what I'm talking about. The battle between the female and the masculine energy is literally between Mother Earth and the masculine energy. They are just not getting along right now. And because of this, we are to witness everything that is happening and that will happen. So trust in the things that are given to you. If you are being pushed to go away from where you're living or to change location for one or another reason, go for it. Don't be afraid. This will trigger financially another flow of inflation in many countries. It will also increase the prices of the real estate. So if you are in a doubt about buying a certain real estate right now, you have been thinking about it, I would really advise you to go for it as early as possible, because later on you might have to pay even more for that. Or if you're not given the chance to buy this specific property that you have your eye on, maybe it is because it is not the correct location that you are aiming for. Maybe that's what the energy is trying to tell you. Look around and find a better place where you will have more peace and more comfort, even if it is another country. Like I said, I'm seeing a major move around between countries, and people will be choosing more and more smaller villages to go back to settle there, which is fantastic because, guys, that's what I think that we really need right now. We have focused so much in the big cities that this caused us a whole bunch of problems and serious issues that we are witnessing nowadays. And there's a lot of empty houses all over the earth in the villages. They might be old, they might need some work, but trust me, this is the way to go. You will find much more peace in smaller places like this rather than in the big cities. You will just not have peace whatsoever in the big cities, no matter which part of the world it is. And it will be taken care this to become the trend of the upcoming years more and more so. So if you have a chance to change location, to go to a smaller village with some land to have your own garden. It's so wonderful to have your own plot, to plant your little patch of vegetables and fruits, and whenever you feel it, just go and grab something from there, to have a few animals around. The sensation is simply amazing. And this gives you peace in the mind, because there is a very huge trend of anxiousness happening right now in the cities. Even the smaller cities are going to start to become this way, and many people will start to search a place to get away, far away in the villages. And some people might even be looking for as remote as possible villages. We have chosen a very strategic, or it's more like the place chose us, but it's quite strategical, you know, where we are living, because we are not too far away from the big cities. We are about 30 minutes away from a big city, and that is fantastic, even though we really try not to go to a big city as much as possible. We try to, whenever we have the chance to travel, we prefer to go around and to see some nature, because nature is what is charging us. And if we take care of nature, she will repay back to us in a very wonderful way. So there will be this trend continuing more and more to go back to the smaller village. And moreover, people will be searching for ways to become off-grid as much as possible, to have their own water, their own electricity. And not only this, but there will be something that will start to happen more often, and this is trading through stocks. Instead of selling and getting money for what you produce, people will start to exchange more often goods that they produce. There will be more groups on Facebook and other platforms and other communities where people will be gathering with this exact purpose, to exchange goods. Because we may even reach a point when proper trading for money will become very difficult, very tough. And because of this will be the only legal possible ways for such minded people to really have something in return for what they're producing. And it's a wonderful sensation. I have been joining such groups for exchanging flowers the last 1.5 months. And believe me, the sensation is fantastic. You send what you have and you see something that you have been craving for, or even something that you didn't expect. And I have been feeling so rich ever since, so abundant, that I cannot even describe the sensation. If I had to go and to buy all these flowers, I would have to spend a lot of money. But now I got them almost for free. I just paid some small postage fees, and I got all these lovely flowers, and I paid back in return with my own flowers that I have been taking care of with so much love. And so this will be a trend that will start to happen more often with any kind of goods that you can imagine. The people will turn to ancient ways, not only of trading, but also of making their own houses, of making food, working in their gardens. The trends like the no-till will start to become even more popular, without using chemicals, without using technologies as much as possible. We are really going to start to turn to all these ways. And so that's all from me for now. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I really wish you a wonderful 2022 with as much as possible peace, harmony, and health for you and your loved ones.